Today's video we're going to learn about the blending pen, the watercolor brush, and working with watercolors. Now I want to show you, this is one that I have started to color. You go very lightly with your watercolor pencils. Close to My Hearts are excellent because they have a very soft lead, so you can get a very even color. I kind of go in the direction that the fur would kind of go on this little guy, so that if I do have any kind of lines, when I go to blend it together, they will not be showing. And then where you see the definition that they have, for instance, on the ears, you just can kind of go a little darker and then it will blend together. But once you have that on, you take the blending pen. Now your blending pen is going to have two edges. You're going to have the longer one for larger areas, but you're also going to have one that's fine for the delicate, the little tiny areas that you want to do. We're going to use this one at this point. And what you do is you actually take the blending pen, start at the edges, and bring your color in. And it blends all those little lines right out of there and makes it give more of a watercolor effect to it. Now, I recommend using Stays-On ink. This isn't Stays-On ink, and you can see where it's getting a little bit darker. That's because when you use a regular ink, it bleeds. And unfortunately, my Stays-On pad was dry, so I have put in an order today for a new one. But that's how you start that process. Now, to clean these, all you have to do is wipe it right on the white, and it transfers the rest of that color until it goes clear. And they last a long time. They are reusable with different colors. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you is we're going to use our Pacifica ink pad. You're going to actually take and press the top of the ink pad to the pad so that when you open it up, you have this ink here. Now, we're going to take a water brush, and it has a reservoir here to fill with water, and then so you push it and it brings your water gently to the edge. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to drag it through this water on the top, and we're going to paint it right onto the image that we want. So if you want it this dark, you can paint it that dark. And remember, the longer you go with it, the lighter it's going to get. So you can see how you've got two different colors there until you decide whether you're going to add more color to it. And in this case, I think it's got just a little bit more water than I want to work with. So simply blot it away. I'm going to cut this little guy out, so I'm not too worried about that. But I do want to make sure that the colors are similar. So we just blend through like that. And we get a really pretty watercolor effect. It's very subtle. And you can go from very dark to a very pale color. Now here's an example that I have of one that's completed, and I'll show you how we can use this. Now to clean this, all you have to do is wipe it off. It's got the water running through it. You can kind of squish it a little bit, but it brings it off. And then that doesn't transfer. When you use watercolor pencils, you can still use the water brush and just blend right over it, and it will blend so that it looks like a watercolor painting. You just want to go very even. And depending, you may want to go with the grain. It just depends on your preference here. Sometimes it's a little tougher to go in some of the areas, but you can see how you have a real pretty watercolor effect. So there you go.